And that's what they're, much as Fox News was sold as fair and balanced, game show love is being sold as the genuine thing. And come on, people.
David, a lot of
Donald Trump is capable of loving anything. No. I mean, look at the way he treats his
family.
He doesn't even love his family.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone, no.
I mean, it's amazing.
I think he's very capable of loving material goods and money.
He loves power and money and status. He loves those things. But as far as any person, as far as any... I mean, I always say, I wouldn't let Donald Trump babysit my cat. Because I think he would just be like, I was tweeting and I forgot they need food. Sorry. I think that would be it.
And what are you for having a cat anyway, you pussy, right?
Right?
Yeah. I would just be more concerned that he would sell it and keep all the profits.
Yeah, that too, right?
So, here's a quarter. I sold your cat. This is all that was left.
Well, see, David, also, of course he's pandering to the people in Miami and all that, because a lot of the Latinos that are there that are Cuban or have Cuban roots, those were the ones with money that escaped communism. So they're Republicans. They're on us because they're afraid of going a little too left. And I understand that because, at the same time, we're trying to do something different. We're trying to make it. We're trying to have a little equality for people, bring it up a little bit, be safer, less bombs, more books, that kind of stuff, But, the people that have come from farther away, a lot of times they have run away with money, so they lean toward that way.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so he loves those
absolutely.
people. We don't let people in with
mine.
no money.
I don't know
if
why,
you don't have
you can't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and get yours.
If people don't have money in this country or they're trying to get in, we're the ones who are mean to them or try to use them as slave labor. So that's,
Well,
totally
you also
different
have
thing.
to, you have to create a narrative that makes someone else your problem, that they're the problem, when that's not true. I mean, there are people that come here and work hard and do their own thing. And then there are those that have been here a while, and I thoroughly don't think everyone can keep up because we keep changing the rules. Yeah. Things that you have to really know how to physically and mentally survive in our society. Our society changes every day. Yeah. I mean, why is a guy walking in, blowing away his wife, or a guy going down to the UPS store and with a gun and just shooting everybody? We created all those people right here in this country because they've tried to. And people say, oh, no, the guy's just great. No, because something set him off. What set this guy off?
Yes. And look, Trayvon Martin, I know.
Watch out now, you're going to get in trouble.
No, we should always, but we should always bring it back. That was a teenager walking down the street with a hoodie on, eating Skittles. And the police already told that fool, don't get involved. And he goes and shoots the guy and gets away with it. These are the things that are not right.
The gun.
And it's the gun.
And
back to the gun.
We had that debate, Dave.
Gun.
We had that debate,
and
we had a Republican, and he believed he tried to debate me tooth and nail that, hey man, the kid was wrong.
Wow,
dude, he had iced tea and some Skittles
coming home from his dad.
And that was one of the things. If you've seen the movie or the short-lived TV show Minority Report, where it's all about prosecuting potential cops chasing after potential criminals. And, when we were doing that episode, and it happened on several episodes of the show, Ari David was making fun of Trayvon Martin and saying, Skittles and iced tea, that's what they use to make lean. That's how they make the scissor. And it's like, well, first of all,
that's a hilarious joke.
I
want to get that guy's album.
Brilliant. But the thing is, it's like, just if you're going to shoot Trayvon Martin for having the ingredients, minus the codeine, obviously, of lean, then you have to prosecute every farmer who has large quantities of fertilizer on their farm, because that shit can be used to make bombs. And look what happened in Oklahoma City with Tim McVeigh. So you can't... exactly. But I'm saying Ari was trying to make the case that, he had the ingredients to do something bad, but he wasn't doing anything bad.
So wait, it's almost like Ari David just used a total straw man because he's doing mental gymnastics to defend somebody that shot an unarmed teenager for no reason. Call me a fucking radical, but that's exactly what happened.
If you'd have been on, let me tell you, if you'd have been here for that debate,
I would have loved to have been.
You would have been. I mean, he thought that he was right. Him and David, I was in the middle, and David, they were going to They were about to go to blows because Dave was like,
I have to disagree. With the characterization, I don't think you were in the middle. I think you just, oh no, he's already yelling at him, so I can just back out, let Robinson do that.
Good. They went at it.
We had a lot of fun yelling at each other. That was But as long as we're speaking about people doing mental gymnastics, something a lot of people have been talking about this week, and I don't want to give this too much time. But tomorrow night, Father's Day, Sunday night, NBC is going to air Megyn Kelly's interview with Alex Jones from InfoWars. A lot of people have been saying that this whole thing is bad for journalism, which I don't understand because it doesn't appear that there are any actual journalists involved in the making of this.
Not at all.
But, what do you guys... Because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Bill Maher's been getting a lot of grief for the guests he's had on, including Milo Yiannopoulos and who did he have on a few weeks? He had someone else on that was really objectionable. Last night he had the dude who is the editor-in-chief at Breitbart now that Steve Bannon is in the White House. And I do believe in having an open conversation and exposing horrible people and horrible belief systems to the light. But where is the line between shining a light on the bad and giving a platform to evil?
That's a tough one.
That is a really tough one. I have a lot of thoughts. First of all, Bill Maher, where I would critique Bill Maher, and I mean, hey man, Religulous changed my life. When I saw Religulous, and I agreed with all of it. It's not like I was like, but I used to passively go to church on the holidays just to appease my family. After seeing Religulous, I was like, no, he's right. We shouldn't do that. And I stopped doing that as a result of, not only because of that movie, but largely because I thought about it. And he's like, yeah, we shouldn't do that. You shouldn't passively go to something if you're pretty objectionable with the team. So anyway, I'm not trying to say like I have not appreciated a lot of Bill Maher's work over the years. I have. But as of recent, when you're going to go soft on Milo Yiannopoulos, hard on Cornel West, and blame everything on Bernie supporters, I think you're a little misdirected, Bill. I think you're a little misdirected. So, if you're going to use your platform to unmask somebody, that's all well and good. And with Milo Yiannopoulos, that's exactly what happened. But it didn't happen because of Bill Maher's hard-hitting questions. It happened because other people did their own homework. And Larry Wilmore at least held his feet to the fire little bit.
I guess gay right activists were really on that.
Mm-hmm. And, as far as... Alex Jones is a noted propagandist who has been unmasked many times. So is all of the Fox News network. Our corporate media is so broken and so compromised. I mean, just the fact that oil and gas funds them is conflict of interest 101. The fact that they're for profit shouldn't be legal.
Well, the fact that they're part of an entertainment. I mean, they're owned by entertainment companies. I mean, Fox is an entertainment company. How can you get news out of an entertainment company?
They're owned by Comcast. They're owned by.
You know how you do that? It's built into the FCC regulations. You have a certain amount of programming that is geared towards enlightening people. Whether that's your Saturday morning kids programming or your news department. These are not the profit centers of your business. These are the part, because the airwaves are owned by the public. They aren't owned by the corporations. So as the system is supposed to work. Well, no.
We're told.
No.
It's how it was made to be that way.
It is absolutely 100% true. The fact of the matter is, though, that because of the existing power structure, most citizens have given up stewardship to the corporations. That we aren't like, we own it. We're just bad absentee owners and letting the apartment manager completely fuck with the tenants. But this is what I'm saying is these are not supposed to be the profit centers for the networks and for the companies. This is supposed to be them doing the responsible thing in exchange for us letting them use our airwaves. So, yeah. I mean, I think everything you guys are saying is right, but the fact of the matter is, this is kind of up to us.
But the power was taken from our hands completely, Dave. I mean,
no,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
1996 changed the game.
Oh, totally.
And,
and I
like,
was working in radio at that time. So I am very familiar with it. Before the deregulation in '96, this really doesn't have anything to do with it, but it's a fun story.
It's connected.
I was in college, and I went to school in Columbia, Missouri. Which is right in the middle of the state, and through the cable system that most everyone in town had, we had the local NBC affiliate, and we also had the NBC affiliate from St. Louis, both airing on the same cable, network, which was great for me because Jeopardy aired a half hour earlier in St. Louis. So I would watch the St. Louis Jeopardy, and then my roommates came home in time for the local broadcast. And as we're passing the bong, they are amazed that I'm getting every answer right. And it was a pretty fun scam that I had going until one of my roommates' classes was canceled. He came home early. No, I wasn't doing it for profit. I was just doing it for fun.
It wasn't a scam.
Yeah, well, no, but it was a
roommates.
goof. It was a joke. And then one of my roommates' class was canceled. He came home early, caught me watching Jeopardy before. But yeah,
you could have won so much money, dude.
I could have, but I'm
$5. I get the most questions.
I'm somewhat ethical.
No, you're
sometimes.
not a dick. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean,
mostly,
I wouldn't have
not
done
a
it
dick.
either. I'm just saying you could have. I wouldn't have done that either.
Jeopardy's for old
Unless
people.
I didn't like
Sorry.
my roommates, then I would have done it.
But no, so deregulation definitely changed things. But I think people need to recognize that as the Ramones alluded to, we want the airwaves. We own the airwaves, and it is up to us if we feel like we are disempowered from the whole exchange, then we need to speak the language of the corporations. If you know anyone that's in a Nielsen family that helps formulate the TV ratings, tell them not to watch the Megyn Kelly show. Speak in the words, in the language of the corporation. You take money out of the we could sit here as liberals on a podcast bitching about NBC's decision to hire Megyn Kelly and the goofy fucking Fox right-wing agenda that she's bringing to NBC. We could do that till the cows come home. NBC isn't going to give a rat's ass. You start, you watch the numbers drop. You watch advertisers drop out. You take the money away from them that has to do with this show. That's when NBC is going to listen.
It's still fighting really hard from the bottom.
Right.
We just, that's, it sounds like you're thinking we have that much power to get people to stop watching a show. And remember, they own all the equipment. They own everything. Like even all the, so many shows that are conservative, they're all over the AM radio, all over the FM. Like you have to pay actually to hear a progressive thing. And it's way off in the, it's a
but that's the thing,
really, it's so hard when it's like the GOP owning the voting machines in Florida. I'm like, what do you want us to do?
Well, David, I would make the argument that what you just described is already happening. It's a long fight, though. Cable television news is declining by the year. In many ways, it is a Titanic, but it's sinking very, very slowly. The general public, especially the younger generation, the 18 to 35-year-olds, and even the generation after that, they are abandoning corporate media in droves. That's why things like the Young Turks, it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing because people are thirsty for actual news. Democracy Now! Is growing, et cetera, et cetera. But
there exists a narrative, an agenda on the right where they want to say that Democracy Now! And the Young Turks are exactly the same as InfoWars, just from the other side of the political spectrum.
Of course,
and
they're trying to do that.
Couldn't be further from the truth.
It's very far from the truth.
Much like, all the Republicans always like to say, well, MSNBC, that's just liberal Fox. It's like, no. MSNBC is, and I tried watching, like a couple weeks ago, a day's worth of programming on MSNBC, and it, eventually became too much even for me. But the fact of the matter is the main difference between MSNBC and Fox News is that MSNBC is still fact-based.
Yes.
And
you got to be pretty smart
they just
to
pick and choose what they talk about.
You know, they're even like if you're talking about radio programs or whatever, like podcasts, you know, there's a certain level of intelligence that is coming out on you have to know some laws. You have to know what's going on. And the rest is like a telenovela.